I can't hear you.
Boom! It helps when I hit the unmute button. Let's go.
Already.
Really good intro, though.
Dude, I was trying to be responsible and press the mute button, and then it ended up biting me in the ass. So, again, let me get back into my speech here. So, guys, welcome in. Again, this is the comic book food chain. We're bringing you perspective from across the comic book food chain, starting with our creator, Mr. Frank Gogol. How you living, my guy? So, guys, welcome in.
What's going on? I've got an echo. What's going on here?
I hear speaker. Food chain, starting with our creator. Damn, I sound good.
Anyway, I'm doing all right. A lot of technical difficulties up front. So,
yeah, mute button, speakers. We're off to a good start is the point he's making.
Whatever.
All right, then coming to the retailer end of it.
I think I'm lagging too.
Are you? We're all lagging. All right, well, you guys are going to have to bear with us tonight. You're basically getting the comic book food chain shit show. Internet, lag, mics. We're going to have it all tonight. Bear with us. Have some fun. Laugh a ton because there's going to be plenty to laugh at, apparently. We're barely...
friends, screen cap us, like whatever.
I love it. But getting back to this, we got the Mr. Creator, Frank Gogol. You got the retailer, Bird City Comics guy, right? Yeah. And then if you look below me, you've got Mr. Mickey, R2D2, the master collector, Mr. Aaron Yee. How you doing, buddy?
Doing great. May the fourth be with you.
Absolutely. I feel like I should be like, but there's no gesture for this, is there?
The lack of shame is astounding.
I wasn't going to say anything, but when I saw him, I'm like, I'm totally going to give you shit about your ears for at least the next hour.
Nice.
This is
that's
the internet, man. Forever.
It's forever.
I'm sure there's been worse videos of me on the internet, so I'm not worried about that.
You know what this reminds me of? You guys remember Stranger Things season 2, and all the boys dressed up as Ghostbusters for to go to school.
Yeah.
And then Dustin's like, shit, nobody else dressed up. So you got you and me, Frank, and then we got Yee.
There's a professional disconnect here. We're leaning in.
Yeah, you know. All right, guys, let's get into this bad boy. Of course, we're talking about all the subs, the road to 1,000. Let's bring up those slides. Again, thank you, everybody, for showing up and hanging out with us. But we're talking Black Market today, issue number 10. You guys like that instead of episode?
At least that's right.
Right? Whatever. All right, 900 sub giveaway. Yee, tell us a little bit about what you're giving us.
So I'm giving away a Sam Wilson Captain America #1. The hip hop variant. So I thought it was appropriate since our last discussion was about comic book TV shows, and I don't know what my dog is doing, but yep. So
he's trying to win.
Yeah, I know, right? So once we hit that 900, we'll figure out the giveaway, and then we'll give it away to the lucky winner.
You know, I'm thinking too, since we're in the giving mood and it's May the 4th and all this good stuff, what do you guys think we give away something just kind of cool to a person that's participating tonight and commenting? You guys cool with that?
Yeah.
Because Papa at Bird City Comics just got these new tops. May the 4th be with you. Trading cards just came in.
Nice.
Yep. So they are doing this. They got a new program where we're doing trading cards through Diamond. Retailers are going to be able to pick these bad boys up, and they sent these May the 4th Star Wars trading cards. So let's say we give a couple of these away tonight, guys. If you guys see a comment that you like, Gogol and Yee, and you just want to shout out that guy, we'll do it that way. I've got 1, 2, 3, 4. Let's do 5 of these bad boys. So if somebody says something cool, something funny, if your comment gets picked out by Gogol or Yee, just send me a message and we'll get these in the mail. You guys get some cool shit.
Oh yeah! Now we're carnies. We're just giving shit away,
making it rain.
And correct me if I'm wrong. This cap cover, this is going for what, like $40-$50 now, right?
I believe so. I haven't checked eBay recently, but yeah, I think it's
your book. You wouldn't do that, so you don't want to know how much it's going for. And now that you're giving it away,
but yeah, I would say it's not in a near mint condition. So if you do plan to grade it, get it pressed. There are some non-color breaking indents in the cover. I checked the back earlier. There's a little bit of color rub, but I think all the hip hop covers have a little bit of color rub.
Yeah, any cover you're gonna have solid colors on, like that black, like it's a crapshoot.
Yeah, but there's no spine ticks, nothing breaks color. Edges look sharp.
So good cover, good piece for the collection.
Yep.
Okay, and then of course we're moving our way up to number 1,000. This is a Gogol giveaway. Let people lick their chops about this bad boy.
Man, I feel like I've got this memorized by heart now. So this is the San Diego Comic-Con exclusive Canto number 1 from 2 years ago, the last time there was a San Diego Comic-Con. Everyone knows what Canto is. I'm not going to walk you guys through that. But this is signed by David Boer and Drew Zucker, 2 of my buddies. This was a gift to me. And with their blessing, I'm going to gift it to one of you guys when we hit 1,000. So if you haven't yet and you're watching, hit the subscribe button, hit the little bell and all that bullshit. And let's get this into one of your hands soon.
Love it. Love it, love it, love it. So make sure you guys, again, subbing us out. Send your friends and family, any collectors you guys know, at least have them give us a try and see if they enjoy the shenanigans. But other than that, we're jonesing to give away some cool stuff tonight. And again, once we hit our sub giveaways. So you guys got anything else you guys want to add before we move on to the meat and potatoes here?
Do we want to just shout out a couple people real quick?
Let's do it. Who's in the chat, Yi?
Thank you for showing up, Dan Barry. Ernie's Lair is here this week. Let's see. I see Andrew Lehman. He loves the ears. Thank you. Nigel says Nigel Tunson. I've seen that name quite a few times. DC Dude, welcome in. Ernie's Lair. Let's see who else we have. Joe Medina, may the fourth be with you also. And so thanks for showing up, everyone.
Dan Barry commented when or if you hit 1,000, so he's not getting a trading card. I don't like that attitude.
I concur. I think he's negative from trading card giveaway. Oh my goodness! All right, guys. Well, again, we appreciate everybody that does come out and support the show and hangs out with us and has a good time. It's
my wife.
I see the pride in your face as you saw that.
Star Wars is so dumb.
All right, guys. Well, I love it. Let's get into the meat and potatoes here. Where are we going to start off this combo, guys? We're talking about we're talking about some black market, right?
Did I make a slide for this? I don't think I did, right?
Let me check real quick.
I don't remember.
No, you did not.
All right, good. I didn't think I did, but
okay.
In the interest of looking like you guys and being a fool, I needed to save face. So I just thought for that one. But this is an interesting topic, right? We didn't know what it was going to be. Actually, we just kind of made up a phrase, the black market, and we're like, we'll figure it out.
And then it stuck.
Worst show planning ever. But then when we started digging into it in our Sunday meeting, like we came up with some really interesting stuff to talk about, and like. Me being on the creator side of things, like there's super close. But being on the creator side of things and like buying a lot less and selling a lot less, like that's not my role in the food chain. So like I'm more interested in like hearing what you guys have to say because there's a lot of cool and weird and dark shit.
So guys, the black market conversation that we want to have basically is basically aftermarket. If you couldn't get it on the shelf when it was a new book, what happens to it? Whether it's a key that's from way back when or current exclusives that come out and sell out right away, things like that. What happens to it after the fact? What market does that go to? Hence the black market. Yi, what are your thoughts on this? Good or bad? Let's start there. Do you guys have a good vibe or a bad vibe on the black market of pop culture collecting?
It's bad. It doesn't help the market. It's for greed, you know. It helps one person, the person that's selling the fake product or whatever they're doing that's shady. I mean, you hear of all kinds of crazy stories. I've heard of stories of people cracking restoration slabs and selling them as not restoration, so they get, you know, a price bump of what a book could be or, you know, should be. But it's not because it's restored. So right. There's like little things like where the book is trimmed. And so it's, if you don't notice it right off the bat, or you're not familiar with the exact sizing, like people miss that all the time.
So here's an interesting thought since you brought up the trimming. So guys, if you're not familiar with this, basically somebody will take a paper cutting machine, they'll lay their book down and they'll cut a clean edge so that it looks like you have sharp corners. Obviously, you're going to increase the value in the grade. The way they're able to get away with this, you guys need to be careful with this, is that printers weren't as efficient as they were back when they were doing 10, 12-cent covers. So when the book folds, sometimes it could be a little bit on the back end, or a little bit on the front end. If you got a book on the front end, those are perfect for trimming because the overlay would overlap and you get a little more cover to cut. It's extremely common, and you can go and look up books, pull up multiple copies, and you'll see the stamp shifted left or right depending on how much paper you got. So that's what he's talking about. They'll go in, they'll literally trim it with paper cutters, and it'll look like you got a sharp, clean edge, which obviously you can say, hey, there's no rounding, no blunting, and charge a more premium price is kind of what he's talking about there.
Right.
Damn, I know what I'm talking about, right? That was fucking good.
You just made up for the beginning of the show.
Yeah, I got Google on the side. No, I know some things about some stuff. But yeah, the black market is also, not only are we talking about the scammy parts of it, but then we're talking about the aftermarket pricing. For instance, we launched a book tonight, okay? It's sold out, it's gone. We sold them at retail cost. But people obviously went in and bought multiple copies, and you're gonna see them on eBay and they're gonna mark them up. We sold them for $20. You're probably gonna see them for $40, $60, $80. Gogol, as a creator, how do you feel about the price bump on more modern projects?
I'm going to have like a very, very niche view of this. Like as a collector, like as somebody who buys variant covers and stuff like that, it's bullshit. Obviously, I want to get it for the price it's supposed to be. And like, you know, having people run in with bots and buy most of them so they can make a buck it's garbage. Right. And I don't think there's a person alive who isn't doing it who would disagree. As a creator though, it can be helpful. It can be really helpful. Like my first big book, Dead End Kids, it had a convention exclusive announcement variant that came out like 4 months before the book. And somebody bought half of the 25 copies we made and got them graded and got them they were all 9.8s. One was a 9.9. And then they sold a 9.9 for like $600 or $700. And that got the book on a whole bunch of people's radars. And like you can see the kind of same stuff at play with things like Something's Killing the Children and Department of Truth. Like you get a couple of those retailer exclusive variants on eBay selling really well that can really bolster a book. And then, you know, if you have James Wright in the book, like it's a home run anyway. So like as a creator, it's definitely a tool to be used. As a collector, I think it's garbage. And like I kind of have to toe the line between those two things, like practically, just for the sake of career.
That makes complete sense. So your whole function is to get your book into as many people's hands, and if it creates aftermarket value, that just means that the product's appreciated more, and it'll have more long-term value as opposed to it fizzling out. So I get that you want to walk that line and not say it's great or it's terrible. Because exposure is exposure and you want your stuff in people's hands. So I completely get it. I have kind of a similar opinion. Anything that's got my logo on the back of it, I promise anyone, I will never make an extra cent on it. I refuse to do it. But let's just say, because I have friends that are retailers and they produce some fantastic books, like John over at 616. If he puts out a book that I have nothing to do with and he allows me to jump in on some wholesale, take some off his hands, and they go up in value, I'm marking them bad boys up. It's just a part of the retail game. But again, an integrity thing for me, if it's got my logo on the back and you buy it from me on eBay or on a website, you'll never pay more than the standard retail price, even if it's a fantastic copy of something crazy that I put out. That's just my personal belief. So hopefully most of you are okay with that. So yeah, I'm kind of somewhere in the middle. I appreciate it because I want my product to be hyped up. At the same time, I want to make money so I can continue to do this for a living. But from a collecting standpoint, when I go to buy stuff, I can't stand it either. So I'm super conflicted. I'm like absolutely bipolar on this subject sometimes.
You got to be an asshole about it, right? Like when it's me, it shouldn't be that way, but for everyone,
right?
Else. And like that, I know that's so hypocritical, but like, you know, I have conflicting roles, and so do you.
It makes complete sense because I'm like, you know, I'll go online and try to buy something, and it's way marked up now because I missed out. I'm like, you. And but when it's my stuff, I'm like, yeah.
But how good does it feel when you've sold out to see other people buying that cover for over MSRP, right? Like that
Right.
that you produced or are part of producing such a great cover that people would pay, 2x, 3x, 4x what the cover was. Like that's a good feeling.
Yeah, oh, absolutely. I'll tell you guys the best feeling in the world is you get to know a lot of the community, especially the other retailers. And when a retailer comes to your website and buys 10 copies of something at full retail price, you know you did a good job because you know they're not going to keep them. Their job is to sell books. So I'll see certain names pop in. I'll see quantities 10, 20, and I'm like, hey, wish we were better friends. So good stuff.
Nice.
Real quick, you guys put in a private chat. Joe, he let me know about your comments. And he was like, I really dig this comment. So I got your name. Please send me a direct message. I got your trading card. I'll sleeve it. But we're going to give some of these out. And this is the first one we picked. So it is real. Make cool comments. Be cool people. Participate. Share out. You guys get some things from us tonight. Let's kick it back around to you. So you told us you don't care for the aftermarket hike up prices. We obviously talked about people that don't sell products of what they say they're going to sell. So I don't want to get in tips yet because we're going to swing around to tips.
Right.
Let's talk a little horror story because you do buy more than probably Frank and I buy. So give us a good one. What's a bad example here?
A bad.
What's the worst thing that's ever happened to you?
The worst thing
for comics.
For comics. Yeah. So I bought an ASM 300 one time, and I bought it for a Stan Lee and Todd McFarlane signing. When the guy sold it to me, he told me it was a very fine near mint. When I got it, it had this huge fold over on the corner, and like the time that I needed to send in the book, I didn't have time to get another one, and I wasn't going to shell out another $300, and so I sent it in anyways, knowing that like it was going to take hit points on the grade and all that. So I was like, oh, it doesn't matter. I'm going to keep this for me. And it came back restored. So someone restored with slight color touch. So someone marked up the cover like with whatever, and so yeah, and so it came back as 6.5 restored, 2 times signed.
So this had to be a year or two ago, right?
I think this was like 3 or 4 years ago.
If you got it for $300, it was definitely 3 years ago at least.
Yeah. I was gonna say it has to be more recent in the 300 range for something 9+.
Right, but obviously it was not a 9+, and then it came back restored. And
which platform did you buy this on?
Facebook.
Yeah. Friends and family?
No, I never pay friends and family on someone, especially I don't know.
Good job.
What you're saying is we shouldn't trust people who sell books on Facebook for a living. Don't shop at Big Bird Comics.
Have I ever told you how much I love you, Frank?
I see my shots and I take them.
I love it.
No, you just don't buy from shady people that have like messed up pictures that don't show the entire book, and yeah. So that's probably the worst story.
This came from,
right?
Yeah.
Just a general rule. Like I don't buy a lot of comics, but I do have a pretty nice Silver Age collection. Like certain keys. Like I've got a full run of Fantastic Four, whole bunch of like odd Avengers issues, some Black Panther, just sort of odds and ends, some X-Men, Daredevil, and most of them were eBay purchases because funds were there and inspiration struck, and that's when I was able to buy them. And like as a general rule, like whatever I see somebody listing, like if it's not great and they like give a grade for it, I always assume it's at least one under what they're saying, because like the person selling has every reason to lie about it, right? Because they want to make the money. They'll make more money and they'll make the money. So like what you're going through, totally believe it.
Yeah, absolutely. Real quick, guys, Ernie's going to get my second card here because why not?
Nice.
And I can literally do this all night. I got a stack of these bad boys.
Ernie, Brown Nose will get you what you need.
Dude, I can totally be bought. Absolutely, I can be bought. So boom, Ernie, I got 2 so far out the door. But yeah, I don't buy as much as I used to. I think for me, some of the things that I try to look out for is I like descriptions that are brutally honest. Like I like the ones that say the book is what it is, reference the photos, whatever you think, because you can't put a number on it. I get people that try to trap me all the time on eBay. Go, oh, do you think this Last Ronin's a 9.9? No.
Why? I mean, no one should be able to guarantee a 9.8 or 9.9 or 10. Yeah.
If anybody ever, I always say that first. If anybody ever guarantees you a grade on a raw book, don't buy that. But I can tell you these are grade worthy. That's all I ever say. But it's funny how they try to get me in it. So do you think? No, I don't think anything about anything.
That's definitely true.
Absolutely.
You know what? This brings up something really kind of grinds my gears, like outside of this conversation. And I won't spend like a whole lot of time talking about it, but like the idea that there are guaranteed grades, like it's just insane. Like it's and I know I'm going to take some heat for this because people like 9.8 books, they like graded books, but you can't know that something's a 9.8. Like you can get the most perfect book in the world, and if the dude at CGC is having a shitty day, you're getting an 8 back. Like there's no guaranteeing it, and especially now that there's no pre-screen, right?
Right.
But this other, like, I feel like people are getting conditioned to expect a guaranteed 9.8, even if it's not suggested. Like, I mean, I know you sell a lot of covers, and I've sold some of my own covers, and like it's just like I don't know how to live in this comic book world where people get mad when a book has like the tiniest little dent, but they were never promised the pristine book. Like, and like I definitely believe in delivering a good, solid looking book, but A, no one's perfect. B, no book is truly perfect. Even the ones that are a 10 aren't perfect. Like that unicorn doesn't exist.
Right.
I need to gather my thoughts a little more on this before we like have a real conversation about it someday, but we should. Because it is bad for the industry that like people have these expectations, because then retailers, who a large part of their income and revenue is from cover sales, are getting hit with like hours and hours of extra work answering emails and repackaging books and replacing books just to keep the customers happy. And like they did deliver what they were supposed to. Like I get like if the book is folded or if, has a shitty color, like there has to be like a certain amount of leeway for people who are providing these products, because like it's just, I don't know, like I've seen people lose money because of customers being picky, and that sucks.
No, I completely get that. So I always thought that there was, but it needs to be acknowledged more in unwritten rules of comic buying and collecting, kind of like baseball. Because any retailer that will guarantee a new exclusive that they're releasing at a 9.8 is full of shit. The standard is 9.2 plus or 9.4 plus.
Yeah, 9.4 is like the best I've heard.
Absolutely, and that's what they guarantee.
Well, those are still near mint conditions, like.
But
right.
Even beyond that, it's just eyeballing it, right? Like I have 100 books that I've gotten from the printer, inspected every one, turned it around, looked at every corner, flipped through the pages, and like some of those have not been 9.4s, and like there's sometimes you just can't see it.
Yep.
Like and like the people who are the most anal about it will look at it with a microscope.
Oh, that's my favorite. But there is a retailer out there, and obviously I won't say who it is. I thought this was funny. So I ordered a book, it's the 9.4 rule. I get it, and this thing is beat up. So I message them and I'm like, hey, this book's pretty damaged. And they're like, well, we only guarantee. And I'm like, I know. Check this out. It's definitely not a 9.4. So the guy was great. He was like, all right, we're going to replace it, but I need you to send me a picture of that book, and I need you to rip the cover off of it. I was like, for real? He's like, yeah, I need you to rip it because I don't want it back, and I need you to rip the cover off. And I thought that was the dumbest shit I ever heard in my life.
You started selling books, and you realized what they were doing?
You get it?
I still don't get it.
All right, so the reason for that is generally when you print an exclusive that's going to be high dollar, like $15, $20, $25, not $4, you overprint by 10 or 15%, right? Like just so you can account for any damages that come along, because some books are going to get beat up in transit. Maybe a lot of books will, and you want to be able to have that full print run. So he may have had 110 copies of that 100 run book, and when you rip the cover off, one of those 10 reserves comes out to replace it in the 100. right? Not everyone is honest, and some people will sell 110 copies of a 100 print run book. But what that tells me is that guy was actually being pretty honest.
See, and I would think that too, but Marvel gives you a 3% overprinting to compensate for those. So typically, and again, depends on how you run your business. I sort all 4,500 or 3,000 copies and pull out all the damages that I catch before I get into shipping. So it's kind of a catch-22, because if they didn't care enough to sort their books out and pull out the damages and just started shipping them out and said, hey, the ones that are damaged, whatever, we'll replace them, just sounds like more work. Because nobody wants to receive their book in that quality, especially if they got a preserved shipping box. Like if the corner's beat in, you get out your knife and you're like, shit, this thing's probably ruined. So I guess I see if that's how they do it, it makes sense. But again, I guess everybody has a different way of doing it.
Yeah, it's rough.
Well, and then the cover ripoff thing, that's been since like newsstands too, since like the 80s. Like,
yeah, that's a throwback to just general returns. Like that's how Diamond used to do the returns. I don't know if they still do, but like, if you're gonna return a damaged book, like they
just want them back.
Proof that it's cheaper to send the cover in than the whole book, right? Like, and
I guess that's true.
That's like the rebate.
Yeah.
It's to get your credit.
There you go. Let me see. Did you get my comments about my first Ivy? I'm missing comics. I'm looking for it. So yeah, Donald, congratulations. First of all.
Did we also want to talk about like how on eBay sometimes like you'll see a price of a book that's so low and people will buy it, and then when they get it in hand, it's a complete reproduction copy. Like,
okay, so I haven't run into this. So I haven't seen key reprints that people have physically gone out and gotten a printer to print, is what you're saying, right? And built this book and then shipped it.
So there are two things here, I think.
Okay.
There's counterfeit books, and then there's misrepresenting eBay postings. And I think he's talking about the second one, right? Like, so like
a facsimile almost.
That, or like the Marvel, what are they, golden reprints or whatever, they're golden record reprints.
Oh, Marvel milestones.
Yeah, or whatever. Like, so like, you get two kinds of people looking for these books: people who don't know better and they're getting taken advantage of, or on the other end of things, you have people who are misrepresenting their books, right? Because I've seen some eBay sales for sure where it's like the 1970 Amazing Fantasy 15 reprint, and they're selling it under the guise of it being a genuine first print 1961 or 63 Amazing Fantasy. And like, you get people who just don't know better or aren't looking close enough that are buying these at premium, high prices, and like that's obviously just garbage. There's no one, hopefully, that's going to defend that kind of behavior. But on the other end of it, there's the counterfeiting, right? You can do this with modern books to an extent, right? So like, you can download from Comixology a CBZ or a CRB file, so comic book reader file, and those are, depending on which publisher, some of those are really high res JPEGs. If you take them apart, they're just zip files. And then if you know anything about comic book printing, like, you can just run them through Photoshop, turn them into TIFFs, and send them to the printer. They won't be exact copies. They're probably not going to have the barcode in most instances. They might not have the same publishing information on the inside of the cover, but like, not everybody's going to look for that, and then people are going to get away with that kind of shit.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Well,
let's give one of these away real quick. DC dude.
Yeah, I was going to call that out.
Good comment. I got one for you. But what were you going to say?
So yeah, I mean, I've seen that. I've seen both. The counterfeits before, and then also the facsimiles being misrepresented, like being so the one I've seen is a New Mutants 98. So they did a facsimile not too long ago, and someone titled their Facebook, or I mean, not their Facebook, but their eBay posting as a New Mutants 98. But you can obviously tell the difference with the barcodes, and people bid it up like way too high. I think at the time, like, raws were probably like $200-300. So someone paid like $300 for a $4 cover. Like, and then it was written in the description that it was a facsimile, but nowhere in the title did it say like reprint, facsimile, or anything like that. So I thought that was completely
the description. God, who's got time for that? But like another angle that we should probably cover is shell bids, right? Like people bidding up their own things so they can look more like you can take that facsimile. If you can bid it up to 250, people aren't even going to think twice about what it is. They're going to see the price and be like, somebody else looked at this. Let me get in on this. I might get it a little bit under.
Right.
And, I mean, shells are just bad in general. Like there's
right. It misrepresents the market, and then so someone sees that and they're like, "Oh, I'm going to sell that."
And again, I'm doing a lot of bus driving today, so if you guys hear a horn driving by, that's me. But I've had people that I'm not associated with anymore that have called me up and said, "Hey, I got this great idea." What you do is you put an item in there, and then I'll bid on it, and then somebody else will bid. And I'm like, dude, that's been around forever, and it's not fucking cool. So it is a thing that happens, guys. You need to be aware of it. So I always tell people, find comps. Find your book that you're looking at. Auctions are a great way to start, but try to get a couple different pricings and get it in a general area. If it sells between $60 and $85, stay in that range. If this thing's up to 120, somebody called her homies. What does Mel say? Fuckery's afoot.
Oh, there's fuckery afoot.
There's fuckery afoot.
Yeah.
If it's that big of a jump and it's an active bid with days left, the homies are on there with shell accounts and they're doing some funny stuff and just trying to navigate from that type of thing. That's
yeah, and then those people are always caught too, because like you can tell, like you see like a person with like 1 or 2 ratings and stuff like that. It's like, come on, that's not a real account. Like,
or they just opened their eBay account and it's like they've only been a member for 5 days, and I'm like, all right, here we go.
5-star rating, one sale.
Exactly.
Hey, everyone starts somewhere.
Well, I mean, I get that too, but like I'm talking about the people actually bidding, because like on the auction, you can look at the bid history and it says like their rating.
Yeah,
interesting. I never even thought of that one. That's a good one.
So this made me think of another thing that isn't even in our list of stuff to talk about, but we're going to do tips in a bit. But something to keep like your eye on the ball about is if somebody tells you a book is gonna get hot, don't listen to them, right? Because that person's probably sitting on a fat stack of that book. And there are YouTubers and influencers and creators, even retailers, who will tell you a book is hot and it's not, or that it's going to be and it won't be, and like that there's a lot of misinformation out there. Like it sucks that there's so much homework in this hobby, but like it pays off to do your homework. But if anyone tells you how things are going to be, they're always full of shit.
Yeah, absolutely. So that brings up a very good point, guys. It's not always what they say, it's how they say it. So if somebody says this book is going to be hot, navigate away. If somebody says
I wrote it, then if they say it,
right. Unless Gogol wrote it's the rule.
It's a Bird City exclusive. It's going to be hot.
I threw me a bone. High five over here.
Got you.
Nice.
But if somebody comes to you and says, I'm speccing on this book, and if you can get them, grab a bunch, that's different. So it's all in how it's presented, because we do have Yi and I have some friends that do speculation shows, and they do a great job of navigating hyping specific books, but they'll try to tell you ahead of time, maybe try to grab some of these and hold on to them. So just listen to the wording. Gogol's completely right. If somebody says, get this book, this is the one, grab it because it's hot, be a little skeptical. Again, find your comps, stuff like that.
Right. So it's a fine line, I think, between like actual knowledge versus like pumping and dumping.
Yeah. And if you're not like new to the hobby, like you're not just getting started, like you can also listen to your gut. Like if somebody told me that a Donny Cates book is going to blow up before it came out, like I might believe that, because there's a track record there. And like, I know that there are people who are going to get behind that because of that track record. If somebody told me that Joe Blow Indie Creators book is going to get hot,
I was going to say if somebody told you a Frank Gogol book was coming out, but I thought that's too mean. Okay, sorry.
About it, but have it in me to make
you can't burn yourself, and I was going to jump in, but okay.
I'm terrified of fire, so that definitely can't. But yeah, if somebody told you one of my books was going to blow up 5 years ago, like if they told you Dead End Kids was going to be a hit, don't fucking listen to that person. They're lying to you. Turns out they weren't, but they didn't know what they were talking about, so still don't listen to them.
True.
Oh,
Well, yeah, I mean, I think that's like in the most important thing of speculation is to read books, and so you can understand what's going on or what's being presented to you. You know, so doing your homework is the most important, and like forming your own opinion.
I want to call out a comment. I want to take my turn. I don't know how to do it, so I'm just going to tell you which one it is. But let me scroll back before I lose it. Oh, where did it go? There aren't that many comments. Okay. So Astray CNC, that homework genuinely saved my life. That's a great story. I don't know the details of it. There it is. But that just drives it home, right? Like you got to know what you're doing, especially with like what some of these things cost. I love that comment. So.
Okay, Astray CNC, I got you right. Meow. Make sure that you direct message me.
Get one too, apparently.
Who?
Let Rafe get one.
All right, we're doing it. Like I said, I got a stack of these things. But hopefully you guys are enjoying the tips and tricks. Some of the conversation we have. There's a lot of gray in this aftermarket. You know, people call it third market. I started my business in third market. But again, I have a retail sales background. A lot of people don't know this of me, but I actually used to wear a suit and tie. And now I wear t-shirts and sweatpants all day, which is fucking awesome, by the way.
Yes.
Yeah, it's totally great. But yeah, sales is my background. So when I got into the business, I took a very customer service friendly approach, and people do notice those things and pick up on them. So
hell yeah. Look, make a good product and be kind to people, and you will be successful even if what you're selling isn't that good.
I got a comment right here from a guy because he was trying to get the book before it sold out, and I said I always keep a stash for damages, and I'll sell him one. And he put, "Thanks for messaging me back. Most stores wouldn't even bother. I appreciate it."
Dude,
Simple.
That's nuts. You know, I do the same thing as a creator, right? Like I get a lot of people, not a lot of people, I get people who DM me just to say, "Hey, I like the book." And I'll say, "That's awesome. That's so great to hear," or something like that. And they'll be like, "Oh my God, you responded." And I was like, "Yeah, why wouldn't I?" Again, and just if you're listening to this and watching this and you want to do anything creative or anything business, or just don't want to have a shitty life, be kind to people. Like take a couple seconds to pay attention. And you will build a better life, business, career for yourself. Like I started my comics career making it a point to talk to people, to engage with the fans that I do end up lucky enough to have. And if you do a little bit of that every day, you build up a very, very loyal fan base. And over 5 years, there are people who I know will buy my books now. And I know that Ant knows that there are customers who will buy what he puts out.
Absolutely.
So this is my soapbox, and then these are my tips for life.
So you know what, and he's spot on, guys. One of the things that drew me to Yeet and Gogol is they're very genuine people, and Frank, he really cares about what he's doing. I mean, there are some guys out there that are uber talented and they can give two shits because they're naturally talented. It's always come easy to them. They don't have to grind. And then you get people like us that are putting in all the extra work and really care about the feedback. So again, we appreciate all the love and support that you guys have shown us so far. And Frank means what he says, even though I don't care for him too much personally.
He cares for me a lot personally.
But yeah, okay, here we go. Joe, what's up, Joe? Right on, Frank.
All right, I think we should pivot and we should get into School Hard Knocks.
Let's get into some fun stuff.
All right, let's bring up that next slide. Oh no, I lost it.
No, it's there. You guys are not okay. We don't want to share it yet because we're gonna get into some fun stuff, right?
Yes.
Okay, so do you want your slides? Are you prepared? Because I don't want to cheat.
One of the slides is missing, and I'm kind of annoyed about it. And it's
no,
the one. No,
we called this the shit show, so we're good.
Hang on, keep them warm for me.
Okay, so we're gonna get into the second segment here.
There it is. There it is.
So I have some tips and tricks for everyone. So I just wanted to
real quick.
Okay.
Shout out to Tim. Tim saved us on that one.
Thanks,
Tim. All right, Yi, what do you got for us?
I spent so
right.
much time on this slide. I was so proud of it.
It looks great.
Yeah. So this is the School of E. Basically, I just wanted to give out some tips for collectors out there. Just things I ran into that I wish someone had told me before I started buying books. Just to help your collections out there. So for the first slide, we have check eBay sold listings, Go Collect, or GPA. So the last two are mainly for if you're buying slabs, but for raw books, use what's the fair market value. If you're traveling around a lot and going to cons and stuff like that, I do recommend having an Overstreet. That's way easier, especially like if you're in condensed locations. Like internet may not be as good, so you're not going to be able to always like browse like what the last sold was on eBay.
Hey, we got a question here from Arthur King. Does GPA cost money?
GPA and Go Collect do cost money to look at all the details. Go Collect does, I think, has like a free account, but you can't look at all the last sold listings. So you can get like an average price that's somewhat relevant, but GPA will give you exact statistics of 90 days sold, last sold, like what the last 5 sold for. So it depends on how hard you want to go in the paint.
Right. So, and Frank, you keep beating me to this. This is driving me crazy. I'm hovering over this comment right now. And then to follow it up, because that's a great comment. I was waiting to jump in, and then you hit me with the comment. So, Catherine, I know you guys are. I don't know if you're a Star Wars fan or if you're just buying into what Frank says. I'm going to send you one of these, and hopefully you do something great with it, and maybe something funny and postable.
She's my show bid. So, see how I got a card?
I got it. So this one's going to go to Catherine, the better half.
The
Gogol.
The best hole.
Best hole.
Don't even shortchange her.
There are a couple good websites for raw comics prices, and that I would recommend. So
yeah. So Yi, I got a question.
Yes.
Just on your tip number 1, and then we're gonna keep cruising here because we're at 45 so far.
Yeah.
But what about like when you said slabs? Do you ever go and check like the CGC census and things like that? Actually put in the number.
I do like to, if I have the time, I will check the numbers, like to see like how many there are. But I mean, like depending on the book, it's still supply and demand at that point.
What were you gonna say, Frank?
I was gonna say, I think that's one of the tips, right? Check the serial number. I think that's the next.
Yeah.
Okay, I got a funny story when we get to that. So let's move on to tip number 2.
Yeah. So when you're purchasing slabs, it is important to check the serial number. I think it's important. I mean, you can verify that's what the book is in your slab. There used to be back not even 2-3 years ago, people were doing mischievous things and cracking open slabs and sliding in a different book, swapping them out. There's all kinds of fuckery afoot with this.
For real.
Yeah.
So here's my funny story with checking serial numbers real quick. This is when I was really early into selling, and I had like 4 copies of ASM 361. I had a customer buy one. And of course, he asked me the all question, what do you think the grade is? And I said, man, this is going to be, and I gave him the right answer. It's going to be a 9.4 plus. He's like, press it for me, clean it for me. If you don't mind, I'll pay for the grading and send it in. I said, no problem. I did it. It came back a 9.4 on the nose after a pressing and a cleaning. Nice. And I felt so guilty that I got another one back at a 9.6, and I gave him the upgraded one. And he checked the serial number and called me, and he's like, hey, this isn't my book I bought from you. I'm like, what are you talking about? That's the one you got. He's like, no, I checked the serial number. This was graded 2 years ago. I was like, oh, shit. I go, yours got a 9.4, and I felt like hell, so I gave you an upgraded one. And he did. He checked it and called me out, even though he got the better grade.
Wow.
But then he was happy once I told him why I did it. Yeah. But I've not done that since.
That's an important lesson, man. Like, you can be the nicest customer service person in the world, and sometimes you might get that guy. You got lucky, but he could have been that guy.
Yeah.
And I sent him the new one. I sent him the dates. I sent him the new serial number to the one that was a lower grading, and they matched up the dates. And he's like, okay, I appreciate the 9.6. And I was like, okay, no worries. And I was like, okay, never do that again. I thought I was being great. So yeah, serial numbers, definitely make sure you guys look into those because it's a thing. And I did get called out, even though it
I
worked out.
wanted my 9.4, man.
So Chad had a question real quick. Does it cost money to have access to the CGC census? So you can actually sign up for the free account and look at the CGC census, but you can't submit books or anything like that. If you get the next level, you can read graders notes, which I think is good if you ever plan to crack open slabs and try to press and regrade, which leads me into this where with CBCS, it has a QR code on the back. You can scan it and it'll show you the grader's notes.
Nice.
With that, there's certain pressable defects that, can improve your grade. So as long as it doesn't break color, things like that.
Frank, can you decipher this for me?
Per our prenup, that card is hers.
Damn, dude, you speak Catherine? Woo, that's good stuff.
Most of the words are there, but
it's like those things where they put in the first letter and the last letter, like just reverse, and you can still read the sentence. But,
yeah. But look, Catherine and I have our own language. We took a trip up to the Poconos for New Year's one year with like 4 or 5 friends, and we had never been with people for that long together. And like we just figured out that like we speak in code to one another, and like people were just like, "What the fuck are you saying?" Like letters missing from that, I wouldn't know what it meant.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I love it. All right, let's move on.
And on that note, yep.
Tip number 3. Sorry, wrong fingers. These ones.
Yep.
All right, here we
go.
go.
Make offers. You might catch a deal. My favorite. This is always fun for me. Negotiating, especially in cons. My favorite question to always ask a dealer: what's the best price you'll do on this? Because you see the marked up price. It's obviously like way too high, and you have a price in your head. They have a price in their head. Don't throw out your offer. Let them throw out you an offer. It's always lower than what you're gonna say. I mean, that's what I found.
Not lower than I'm say.
So I mean, sometimes you can like wheel and deal depending on how smooth you are. But I mean, like it's just the art of negotiation. Like some people are better than others. But set a price limit on what you're willing to pay for it, and then doing research beforehand by looking at previously sold prices or using some of those tools, you have a rough idea about exactly how much you're going to pay for fair market value.
Yep. So here's my tip reference in here, guys. When you're wording these offers, comic collecting is extremely personal. So a personal comic that somebody has is worth way more to them than it may be on the street. So make sure you make comments like, I would really love to have this. I think this is a great product, blah, blah, blah. Don't go in there and be like, oh, I wouldn't pay more than $15 for that shit. Because the guy would rather light it on fire or use it to wipe his ass and give it to you for cheaper. Just being honest. And that's how these guys feel about it because it's their copy.
More flies with honey than vinegar, which apparently is scientifically true, but the mentality there.
And you're going to learn today.
It's the art of conversation, right?
Yeah, if you can talk to people. The other thing I would highly recommend is becoming a comic book creator. like I get offered discounts now, which is awesome.
Yeah.
My Amazing Spider-Man, my Fantastic Four #1 signed by Stan Lee. It's a 1.5. It's like not a great copy, but it is an irreplaceable copy. That's
sure copy.
That is $6,000, $7,000, $8,000 book, depending on who's trying to buy it. I got it for less than $5 because I was a creator. So go be a creator if you want to save money. You'll spend a lot of money to make those comics, but you'll save it and spending it at Comic-Cons.
Yep. So Astray and I have something in common. All offers within reason. Our job is to sell comics, not to keep them, not to collect them. I mean, we have our own private collections, but my job is to take books from point A to point B, which customers are point B. So yes, absolutely, that's good. Good way to live your life when you're selling comics.
I will, at a con, when I'm selling at a table, I will definitely wheel and deal. Like I don't mind losing a little money, but always on an upsell. And if my books are $10 a piece and I have 2 of them and you want them, both for 15 or both for $17.50, right? Like I still make what I was gonna make and then a little more, and you get more value, but for less than what you would have paid for it. And most people are cool with that. Like I think if you treat people well and take care of them, they'll take care of you back.
Yeah, this is basic math, guys. I had a guy in a show, and he picked 3 books. They valued right around $100, and he's like, he asked for a $15 discount. So yeah, no problem. Next guy picks a single book that was a higher dollar amount, and he's like, "Can I get a $15 discount too?" And I said, "Absolutely not." You're talking about a 3-book deal, a combo thing. There's more value, more money to be made, more wiggle room that way. And he was just like, "Well, that's ridiculous." I'm like, "It's really not. It's basic math. I mean, take off your shoes, use your toes." And you can work this out. So just keep these things in mind, guys, when you get into the haggling, because it's definitely enjoyable on both ends if you do it from the right way.
Right. And it can be harder at shops to, like at LCSs, to do wheel-in deals. It just depends on how much of a regular customer you are, things like that.
Consignment stuff, you're never going to get a discount on. Wall books, you could possibly, like, if you have a good relationship. New product, like, it would be shitty to ask, so don't.
Yeah. If you're buying like large amounts and stuff like that, so sometimes
if you're picking up like a long box, like,
yeah,
and they're all dollar books, maybe ask for a bulk price. Like, nothing wrong with that.
I used to go to cons, and I used to, when I was again buying a lot, and I'd see wall books at cons. And I always used to try to make this joke, and I would look at it and be like, "Okay, so these are your wishful thinking prices. What are you willing to do?" Because that's what a sticker price is. It's what you hope you'll get for it.
Yeah.
And the guys that would laugh, I'm in the conversation. The ones that would kind of look at me sideways, I'm like, "You have a good day."
So this is true, and like you can scale it by what show you're at. Because like some shows, people go in looking to make more money than other shows. So like I'll do New York Comic Con and Rose City Comic Con almost back to back. One's in September and one's in October usually. And you'll see the same retailer there with the same setup and the same books, but different price tags. So like if you have a smaller show, you will have like a really good chance of being able to wheel and deal because they're not expecting to make as much money.
Yeah, there you go. So that's the thing, guys. The big shows are great for the names and the people and the environment, but don't skip over smaller shows in your areas. Go check those out. Get some good deals, walk away with some good books, because these guys have stuff, especially if that's what they do. If they've got enough time to buy a booth space and set it up, there might be something there worth going and talking about and having a conversation. So that's a good tip right there. What do we got going here?
What's on the next slide?
Yeah, what's tip number 4?
Just the tip.
All right. So this is mainly for if you're buying online and you're buying raw books or sometimes even graded books. Always ask for more pics if there's not enough. Like if there's just one picture, this goes back to my lesson about buying an ASM 300. I didn't catch all the corners. Like, I knew better. I should have asked pictures of the back, all that. So it never hurts to ask for more pics. And if they're not willing to do that, they're obviously trying to hide something. So you may just be patient and you can probably find a better conditioned book. So shout out to Ultra who picked up that 9/4 New Mutants 87 Mark Jewelers edition.
But that wasn't it. I missed it. This one. Sorry, I had to mute myself. I'm cracking up because my daughter started screaming. She's watching Stranger Things season 2, and she's screaming, "Bob died!" And I'm like, yeah. I had to turn out because I could hear her over there. It's okay. I know Bob was cool, but he gone.
Deserved better.
Yeah.
To the same point that you were just making, wait for a book, right? Books will always go up and always go down. And if you're patient enough, you'll get the book at the best value.
Yep.
Like I obviously I got a really good deal on my Fantastic Four #1, but I looked at probably 200 copies before that and said, no, this isn't the one. This isn't the one for my collection. It's not the one for my price range. And eventually that deal did come my way. Same thing with my Death of Gwen Stacy, which is one of my favorite comics I own. That book has gone up a bunch since Amazing Spider-Man 2, but I grabbed it about a year after Amazing Spider-Man 2, after the hype around Gwen Stacy died, and I got it for a pretty good price.
Yep. So yeah, books always go up and down in prices, so it's not a very stable market.
Some books won't go up and down in price, but they're very few. Like you're not going to get a good ASM #1 for $1,000 ever, or a bad one. You can get a piece of a page from one for like $18 right now.
We'll have to cover like single pages on another show. All right. And my last tip for the evening, just the tip, right?
Just a tip.
is buy what you like. Don't worry about the future value. So I think that's the most important thing in collecting. Like, buy what you love. You know, obviously some of us wheel and deal to, you know, lower our costs for books, but it's still at the end of the day, like, buy books that you like.
Yeah, that's chances are if you like it, other people are gonna like it too, right? Like there's a reason you like a book. Unless you have really niche, weird tastes. You read Star Wars, right? Star Wars is super hot. You buy the books. You're sitting on a nice stack of first appearances since Marvel, right?
Yeah.
But you're also enjoying the books, right? Same with the book.
So it's hard to, like, sometimes it's hard for me to separate, like, this is in my collection and then this is gonna be for sale.
So like, the thing to keep in mind is that speculating is like the lottery, right? How many times have you played the lottery and how many times have you won, right? Probably a lot played and probably very few times you've won, if you've ever won. You can spec on books all day, but you can never know what's going to happen. So there's no such thing as a safe spec, right? Even if it's a James Tinian, the fourth book, that's already optioned, like you never know what's going to happen, right? Those are good circumstances, but most books don't have that. And speculate with your heart, not your brain, I guess is like a really cheesy way to say it. If you're gonna.
It makes a lot of sense because you're right. It's a crapshoot, so you might as well have some emotional investment if it doesn't turn into any type of money investment long term.
So I own one spec book that I have in bulk, and it's
Dead End Kids.
Young Avengers #1. I have more copies of Young Avengers #1 than I do Dead End Kids, actually.
No bullshit. You really do?
I have exactly 2 copies of Dead End Kids #1 because that's how many. That book was so hard to find.
So you could have like 4 copies of Young Avengers #1, and that would be double.
I have 19. Every time I see one, I grab it.
That's awesome.
It's a series that I love. Like I think that it started right around the time I started reading comics like full time and like in a big way. And it was like just the right tone. Like it was really ahead of its time. And that book came out 16, 17 years ago now. So and now it's starting to be a very, very, very looked at book. And I didn't buy it to speculate on it. I really just like the cover and I really like the book. And like, I just wanted to have them. I don't know why I bought a bunch of them, I'll be honest.
No, that's a super cool one. I dig that book all day. I've done that with this third printing Hulk. I've got like 6 copies of it just because I think it's cool to have first, second, third prints. And everybody's always like, oh my gosh, that's the highest graded one I have. But I just think they're fucking cool. So I buy them every chance I get, especially if I get them at a decent price.
Yeah. So those are the tips. Welcome to the School of Hard Eats. I hope this is a recurring thing because I was honestly super impressed.
Yeah, this went really well. And another good tip here. Number 5 applies to store variants. Buy the ones you like because there's not a lot of long-term spec with store variants. You're buying art.
That and they're going to be the most expensive, like regular floppy comics you're going to buy raw, right? Like
absolutely.
Right. And then there's a lot of stores that blow, like if they don't sell out, they'll blow out with their inventory.
Can I add one more tip? This is the unofficial number 6. Just so everybody knows, and I'm going to get hate mail from other retailers. DC Comics cover A is a minimum 3,000 print run. Cover B is a 1,500 minimum print run. For Marvel, it's 3,000 and 1,000. So if you see anybody that goes, oh, there's only 800 of these, fuckery afoot. I'm moving on. Just
unless you see them destroy them.
Right, which I heard of a guy that did that, and he caught a lot of shit for it, but at least he was honest. He said, hey, they don't exist, and they didn't. He lit them on fire.
Yeah.
Which I don't know if I have a problem with that. That's another topic.
Okay.
I've got a whole list of topics for us to talk about after this conversation.
You know what's funny is because we were messaging like, hey, we got to think of a few weeks out. I think we've completed that list now.
Yeah, nice. We're good through September.
I like it. All right, guys, you guys ready to get into some competition stuff here?
This is
our fun segment, right?
This is the fun segment. Okay, we got a little tidbit for you queued up, so let's knock that bad boy out and we'll get into it. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to The Price is Wrong. I am your host. Sorry, I had to do that.
You're the contestant this time.
Oh, shit, I'm the contestant. That's right. Okay.
You're disqualified for not knowing that you were on there.
I don't get the bonus point for that now.
Yeah.
Real quick point of order. Who is sharing right now?
I think it's Tim.
Tim or Frank. I got both of them up. Who wants it?
Me. Oh, no, it's not. Yes, it is. Okay, cool. Just wanted to make sure.
Okay, Frank, you take over that whole thing that I tried to take over and tell us how this works.
All right, so this is the Price is Wrong. It's actually the Price is Right, like a spin on it, but I really wanted to make this graphic because I'm a huge Happy Gilmore fan.
Love it.
Price is Wrong, bitch. So this is the Price is Wrong. Yi has found 5 recently sold graded books on eBay. We only know what the books are, and we are going to bid to see who can get closest to the actual sale price. Sale price being the either auction value or the buy it now value, not shipping, not handling, not tax, not any of that extra stuff. So like whatever the raw price of the book was when it sold. There are 5 books, 1 Golden Age, 1 Silver Age, 1 Bronze Age, 1 Copper Age, and 1 Modern. These are hand selected by Aaron. And the way that it's going to work is Ant and I will do a round of guessing. We'll each guess a bid. Yi will then tell us who is closer, and we will get a second round of bidding to adjust either up or down and adjust our scores or our prices. And then Yi will tell us who won, who was the closest without going over, and then give us a little more background on the book if he's got it. Whoever is closest without going over after the second round of bidding, they will score 1 point. There are 5 books. The first person to 3 points wins. We decided amongst ourselves that if Ant beats me, which seems astronomically impossible at this point, that we would give him the 3rd spot in the chance for the comic book food sharing crown, since he basically gave it away last episode.
And just to be fair, you know, with me and all the things I threw the other day, my brain's mush by 6 o'clock at night. So, Frank, you got a good shot at this.
I don't know, man. You're a retailer, so you should be pretty on top of this, right?
I'll be honest. Like we knew the books three days in advance, and I was like, I could go look up these books and kind of.
I didn't even look, dude. I'm going straight up raw. I have not looked at Discord. I have no idea what we're about to do.
I have no problem cheating. I'm telling you that.
That's terrible.
Listen, man. I'll play Monopoly with like a 10-year-old, and I will take that kid to
run the table.
Cool, yeah. I have no qualms.
I love it.
Unfortunately, it was a busy day. I didn't have time, so maybe you will beat me.
Okay, so Yi, I'm going to need you to channel your inner Bob Barker here. I'm going to need you to get out the Drew Carey in yourself and really knock this out of the park so everybody can get the experience of The Price is Wrong. Are we ready to kick this bad boy off?
All right. For our first prize.
I wonder what you did now.
So our first 2 contestants, Ant and Frank Gogol, come on down.
Wait, why did you announce a married couple?
I'm running down. All right.
For our Golden Age book, we have a Batman number 20. It's a CJC 5.0. There's a Joker appearance, and this is the first Batmobile.
All right.
I literally have no fucking idea.
Who gets to go first?
Right.
You go first.
Okay, either or.
Okay, so retailer goes first. 5.0 CGC Batman issue number 20. You got a Joker appearance. We got a Batmobile cover appearance. I'm gonna say this one's probably $4,000.
Frank,
24,000.
Ant is closer.
Okay, so I'm closer. So a 5. You said 5 or 5.5? Sorry.
5.
5.0. If I'm closer, I'd like to buy a Val. That's not a thing on this one. We got a 1,300 bid now because I'm close. I'm in the 4,000 range. I'm gonna go up a little bit. I'm gonna go to 5,700.
Frank,
56.99.
I would have done it. I love it.
So Frank wins this one. The price was $2,000. So
shit, we were way the other way.
Yeah, you were both way over. But like because Frank took a super low.
Well played.
But so Donald is the winner on this one.
Yep, Don was in there at 1,300. He was only $700 off. He is the Bird City Comics official Batman collector. He comes in looking for it all the time. So
give that man a card.
Yeah, that's a great call. Don, you're getting a card.
I get a point. He gets a card. I feel like I shouldn't get the point, but because of the way the game is structured, we have to.
Hey, bro, those are the rules, and you played it right. So, but you got to kick off this next go, and make it a better guess than $24,000.
So our Silver Age book is Tales of Suspense number 39, a CGC 4.0.
Ooh.
Okay. I'll go first on this one. 4.0.
Yep. Where's your wife at? She can't be feeding you answers because she's commenting again too.
If she's commenting to yell at me.
I know, but she's not standing in the door with her phone like on
hands
eBay.
Up to you, so you're not both on eBay, right? Or on GPA, right?
my computer would fall apart if I tried to run eBay right now.
4.0.
Shit. 5,001.
Okay, 5,001. See, Tales of Suspense 39. I'm gonna go with 3,500.
Frank was closer.
Okay, so Frank, you get to adjust now. And Yee, you got to stop acting like you don't know the answer.
I'm gonna go 4687.
4687. Okay, I'm gonna go with 5,000 even.
Ant wins this round. The answer is $11,100.
The answer is we comic books.
The answer is we're way off.
All right, 1-1. We got ourselves a game.
Got a game, guys.
Ernie's Lair wins in the comment section.
There it is, right there. Ernie with the big guess. I like it. Oh, okay. Here we go. Interesting book.
So this is our Bronze Age book. Is a Moon Knight #1 CGC 9.6 newsstand edition.
Very nice. Okay, I'll take the lead on this one. 9.6 newsstand. Moon Knight #1. You got a 50-cent cover here. We're going with the newsstand 9.6. It's not necessarily a key. It's the first in a solo issue. I'm going to say this one's probably, let's go with a $200.
I'm going to say, what was the grade?
9.6.
9.6? 250.
Ant was closer.
Is this a math thing, or do you just not have it written down?
Are you trying to remember?
No, I have it written down. No, I'm looking at the answer right now.
So I'm closer. I'm gonna go to 210. I'm only gonna go up $10. Playing the game now.
I'm gonna go 180.
Ant wins this round. The answer is $234.50.
Come at me, bro. I might get one.
I was really close.
Where's Dan at? Where's Dan Barry at now?
Yeah, but I mean, like, you know, he said 200, you were over, so I was like, kind of like, woo! Like, who do I give it to on that? You know, the first initial guess, right?
You're with me. You were with me in the 210 range. You're with me. I like it. All right, let's go.
All right. For our Copper Age book, we have X-Men #266, a CGC 9.8.
Oh, that's gonna be tough.
Blue label, no autographs. First appearance of Gambit, which could be argued, but that's for another show.
No, another show.
You're up first.
Am I? Okay, I'm up first.
Yeah.
9.8 X-Men 266. So you're talking a mint. What year did this come out, Aaron?
19, was it 90?
90
or
90?
Or is it 91? I can't remember.
90 or 91. Okay, so we're early 90s X-Men. This is going to be 9.8. I'm going to go with $350, Bob. I mean, Aaron.
Bob Aaron. I'm going to go 750.
Frank was closer.
Okay, so I'm way on the other end of that one. I'm going to go, let's go 7. Wait, what'd you say, Frank?
750.
750. I don't want to go that high. 9.8. I'm going to go 550.
I'm going to stay 750.
Frank wins this round.
Yes.
The answer is $1,100. and 78. So
1,200.
Raffy is the winner in the comment
No way.
section. Yep.
Are you looking at the comments? Because I don't even have the comments up.
I don't either.
1,000. There it is right there. Okay. Let me get off the comments. All right. So what are we? Were we tied up?
Tied up with 1 to go.
Woo!
All right.
Let's go.
All right, and this one should hit close to home. A Venom Lethal Protector CGC 9.8.
I feel like this one was chosen to give Ant.
Well, hold on. Is this isn't the gold foil though?
It is.
Yes, it is the gold foil.
Is this just how it looks?
Can't find
Yeah.
it.
It's hard to scan that picture. You know what I mean? Like,
I hope you knock all of those down.
Let me just show this one off then real quick. There it is. That's what it's supposed to look like with the gold foil. Oh yes, this is signed by every Venom creative there, all 6 of them.
so this one was not signed. So these were all blue labels.
And what did you pay for that signed one?
I got this signed in Vegas. So I paid basic signature fees, but I found this comic in a collection that I bought and just kept it. I always cherry pick a few things for my personal, so 87 cents or something like that.
What?
Oh, because I buy bulk, so I buy big dollar collections, and that's what they average out to.
So you're average.
Yeah, that was an average out cost.
Got it.
Okay, wait. Give me the grades on this again, Aaron.
It's a CGC 9.8 blue label.
CGC 9.8 blue label Venom Lethal Protector gold foil variant, which I believe those were extremely limited, somewhere in the 500 range. 9.8s are hard to come by just because it is a card stock. They do get a lot of ticks. I'm going to say this has got to be $800.
$750. That did me good last time.
Ant's closer.
Okay, so I'm going to go to $775. Playing the game.
$776.
Okay, Ant won this round.
Yeah, boy!
With the final price was $1,475.
I said $776.
Oh, you said 776. My bad. I wasn't paying attention.
This is actually.
I thought you say the same.
No. This is actually better than that because look on his face. This is perfect.
You know what? Yeah.
You did that on purpose, didn't you?
Oh wait, I didn't want to see you guys to see my shame. Damn it! I celebrated all big, Aaron. What are you doing? The big ass ears on your head, and you didn't hear my bid.
Nope.
Oh my gosh!
I didn't hear Frank's. I heard yours.
What's the point of having 4 ears?
Woosah.
I don't know.
So, I will say that I'm going to renege my win. I don't want it. It feels dirty.
It feels dirty for the $1 extra.
Yeah.
I mean, you both guessed like half the price of what it actually sold at. So
That's awesome. Hey guys, that was a fun game. Okay, we got to keep this in the rotation. Officially with an asterisk, Frank beat me. You played the game, bro. You followed the rules. You played the game. Undefeated. I will say
he beat me at
Drunko Vision.
Which still don't understand.
But to be fair,
you started slacking off. That alcohol hit you, and you're like, kind of relaxing.
You were like, I'm ahead by so many. Don't worry about it.
You were the hare, and I was the tortoise in that round. So.
And I gave some points away. It was a whole thing.
Yeah. But to be fair, I held my own on this one at least. So
yeah,
I know what I know.
That was good. I was using you as my North Star. I was just betting around what you were betting.
And I'm cool with that. I was completely good with it. But guys, that's your big winner right there. Frank came through clutch last minute with the $1 overbid, beats me on the Venom gold foil, a 9.8.
And I win that gold foil.
This is on its way to you.
I'll look for that.
I'll send you an extra card.
For participation.
You know what? I lost those Power Ranger connecting covers you want. Those are on me. I will send those to you for the loss.
Yes. And I will send you spicy nudes to eat because you lost.
just regular
And
noodles.
I will send this out to a
nudes.
lucky winner once we hit 900 subscribers.
We
Love
need
it.
to just keep track of who's giving away what. We need like a spreadsheet.
I got sticky notes. For my stuff. Okay, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed that game. We're definitely have to keep that in the rotation because that was a lot of fun to play. But we've got an epic showdown between the two big winners weekly on the fun segments. It's going to be Yi and Frank. I'm going to put them through the gauntlet. You guys.
I need a new hat.
He adjusted the ears.
If I lose to that hat, I'm quitting the show. see how many slides you have without me.
That's awesome.
I can make slides too.
Oh my goodness, here we go. So anyway, hopefully you guys enjoyed the show. That was a great round. I loved it. Hopefully you guys appreciate the tips. Again, share this one out. This one's a good one, especially if you know any new collectors, any people just getting back into the hobby. Yi put together a great list of top 5 tips. We had some good conversation in there, and the game was fun as hell. I enjoyed the hell out of that one. But what are we talking about next? Let's get into, we got a couple more slides we want to go through.
Yeah. Bring me up. All right. As you guys know, we spun off What We're Eating into its own little mini show to kind of save a little time here on the live show. So if you haven't checked out our picks for this week for the books dropping today and tomorrow, definitely go click on that video when we sign off. It's like 8 or 10 minutes. You can just, see what we're eating and sometimes what we're cooking, but not this time.
Okay.
And then next week we are having a really cool episode. I'm excited about this one. We picked this at the last minute today, so we literally have no idea what we're going to talk about. We're professionals, but look at how cool that picture is. Come see it just for the picture. But no, for real, we're going to talk about original art. I know that I've got some cool pieces, and I think that the boys got some cool pieces too.
I got some cool stuff.
The reason we wanted to talk about this is because it seems like conventions are starting to be more and more realistic, and that's one of the coolest parts of going to conventions is seeing and buying original art if you can afford it. I know that I can't afford it, but the few pieces I have are really special to me. So like I'm excited it'll be very much in the vein of the Buried Treasure episode. So come check out our collections and our conversation about that next week. While you're here, don't forget to subscribe, follow, and some other verb that isn't follow that we'll figure out eventually for the sake of variety. But
Gather. I'm still throwing them in. Congregate.
No. Subscribe to Comic Book Food Chain on YouTube. Follow us at Comic Book Food Chain on Instagram. Follow at CB Food Chain on Twitter, whichever one is your poison, or do all of them. The numbers make us look really good. We don't have very many of them on some of those. So do us a solid, hit that bell, all that other whatever. And yeah, we appreciate you.
Love it.
And when we hit that 1,000 sub here on the channel, which we're getting pretty close to, we're going to give away that Cantor #1 from my personal collection, signed by David and Drew. I really, really want to give this to somebody sooner rather than later because I know that there are some announcements coming. So you guys, if you haven't subbed the channel, we'll get your name in there just for the giveaway, right? Like you don't even have to watch it, but you should. But just do it. Just do it.
Oh, and if you have more
sponsor.
And if you have more questions about comics and stuff, if you have more questions, send it to the Instagram, and I'll try to answer them, or or my personal, whichever one.
If you want to know more about buying books, grading books, haggling, like all that stuff that I had no idea you knew so much about, hit him up. He's running our Instagram. Slide into those DMs.
Yep.
Are they DMs on Instagram?
Yep.
Yeah. Yes, they are.
Yes.
Slide into Yee's DMs. Get all that Mickey.
But I won't tell you which books to buy and not buy. Like that's not my job. That's for you to decide.
So don't message him and say, "Should I buy this?" He's gonna say, "Get whatever you want to get."
I'm going to come out and say exactly the opposite. Please send him all of your questions about what you should buy. I will tell you right now that he will tell you to buy Something Is Killing the Children. He will tell you to buy Department of Truth. He will tell you to buy Dead End Kids. He will tell you to buy Bird City Comics exclusives. He's got really good taste. Check out.
If they were in stock, you could buy them after today. What?
I heard you keep a damage pile.
So, that was a backstage conversation. No, yeah. Stash them. Oh, if you guys don't know this about a super side note, since you kind of threw it in there anyway, I stagger. I don't know if this is a good idea or not, but I stagger my inventory. Have I said that before?
I don't know.
Okay, so I'm saying it officially. I put 80% of my inventory available, and then I put in little 5% here and there so that people can get them kind of after the fact. I don't know if that's good and bad, so don't hate me. I'm just trying to be nice, but
listen, as far as I'm concerned, they're your books. You can sell them however the hell you want.
Suck it if you didn't like. Wait, no, don't. We love you. Come back.
But
you got to combat it against those bots somehow.
For real, dude.
Exactly.
All right, guys. Well, again, we're on the road to 1,000. Please come out and support that. You guys were great tonight. We got a lot of good comments. If you guys did win one of said cards, this is the May the 4th be with you. These are new from Topps. Diamond's getting back into printing cards again. So this is the first ones that came out. I'm giving these away. So if you did win one, please send me a message and shoot me an address. So as long as you're in the US, I will send it to you. But if you're not, we'll work it out. Anything else you guys want to add before we get out of here?
I need a catchphrase. Everyone else has one.
I
need a crowd-generated catchphrase. So if you've got one, drop in the comments. Please keep it MA or better. TVMA or better.
Yes. If you guys come up with a good catchphrase for Gogol, one of you two spots it, send it to me, and that person will win a card for Gogol's new catchphrase. But until then, we're going to give you the two we have. First one is, guys, welcome or not welcome. We're getting out here for the night. This was Comic Food Chain, so stay hungry, y'all. And
thank you for showing up.
That was it. Peace.
Go.